Hey team, I hope you're having a great summer and you're having the chance to make some great relationships with your students that have carried over from camp and have gotten back in contact with some of your students if you were a group leader in the fall and the spring of last year. I wanted to take a quick minute, actually probably about 10 minutes, to go over some questions that I've been getting from about the groups site. So we're just going to jump right in because I don't want to take too much of your time. You should have gotten an email as a group leader letting you know that you were a leader of a group. And what this is going to do is it's going to tell you your group name, you're a group leader, thank you so much, and it gives you a link. So let's click on the link and go straight to the website. So here's what you're going to see. You're going to have you listed here, and if you've populated your roster, then you'll have your group members listed. If you have not populated your rosters, then obviously those will not be listed there. All you will have is your leaders. We wanted to give you all the freedom to add to your rosters students from camp who you knew were going to continue on with you, and any of your students that were not able to go to camp from the previous year. So we want you to get back in contact with all of the students that you have had since the beginning of last fall. So you have the freedom to do that here. Again, you'll have your students listed here. If you have a student that's not listed or you have not populated, then you can go ahead and add a member, and let's add, we're going to add Wilma Flintstone. And what this is doing is searching the database. So here you've got your Wilma Flintstone. Maybe there's a picture, maybe there's not. If you have a picture, you can send it to me and I can add it. But do me a favor and check this information here to make sure that this is the correct Wilma Flintstone. There is a possibility that there's more than one Wilma Flintstone in our database, as big as our database is. So you'll make sure that it's a child, unless you're in a group with 18-year-olds or older. If you have any contact information that you can verify, then you can verify that here. If this is the right person, then just click in this orange rectangle, and she is then added to your group. If she's not in there, let me see if I can make up a name real quick. Okay, we do not have a Chris yet. So none of these are the people that we're looking for. We are looking for a Chris or a Christopher. So I will put Christopher in here, Young. And there's not one in the database, which is good because that's hard to do. So you create a new person. Make sure that all of this is here. If you have an email address, you'll list it here. If not, it's not a required field, so you can still create the person to put them in your group. Click Create, and then Christopher Young is added to your group. Now, there's some action buttons. You can remove a student from your group, or you can edit their membership date. The membership date really doesn't matter much. It just gives you the date when the student was added to the group. Removing the student from the group, you can do that. I just ask that if you do remove a student from a group, just let your shepherd know that the student was removed, unless it was just an error. If you added a student by error, you can remove them, no big deal. But if a student's been attending and for some reason they're not attending anymore, before removing them, please let your shepherd or Chase or Dustin know that, so that we have a chance to follow up from there. This is where you'll also get all your contact information for your student if the information is in the database. I have a form that I'll show you here in a little bit on how to give us updated contact information. It's in our Resources tab, and I'll get to that in a second. But this is on this page. I wanted to show you just a couple more things. You can print your roster, where you can email all members by clicking this button. This is what it'll look like. You can put in your subject line. It shows who it's from. It does not give them all of the other students' information. It will go to them directly. So you'll just type in a general email. You don't have to give their name in here because it'll go directly to them, and then click send. If you just want to send to one student, check the box, click the button here to send just one email. And there's not an email address attached to that one. Let me just try this one, and I'll show you what it looks like. There, looks exactly the same. So you'll just put in your subject line, give your information, and click send. All right, so that's your members page, and that's really all there is to that. Your events page is where your meeting dates are listed. You can go in and check any historical attendance so that you can make changes or updates if you have any updates that you need to make to an attendance for a week. So you missed a student and you needed to add them in. You can also go in and cancel an event. So there is one thing that we've done with this group is requesting RSVPs, which I'll show you that in settings in just a minute. So your students are receiving an RSVP, letting them know that you're meeting about 3 days before your actual meeting date. So if there's a week like last week when we had 4th of July, where most of our groups didn't meet, and you don't want an RSVP to go out, then here's what you will do. You will click here on your title, go to the Edit Event button, scroll down, cancel this event, and you'll want to notify your group members. That way they actually get the communication that this particular event has been canceled. This is editable, so you can type in here anything you want to, click Cancel the Event, and your group members will then be notified that that has been canceled. All you'll have is these little lines going through here, letting you know that that's been done. It will not affect any future events that you have. These just happen to be the only 3 events that I have in this particular group. Now your resources page, this is a pretty interesting little page, and we've added some content to this that I think you will, hopefully you'll appreciate and will be beneficial. So there's 2 videos on here, these first 2. They're the same videos that I showed during our servant leader meeting in right after camp in June, that they do not have audio. So don't go turning your computer way up trying to listen to it because there's not any audio there. But this is information from a mobile device specifically on how to take attendance from your email that you receive 10 minutes before your meeting time all the way through adding a member or adding a visitor to that particular evening's roster. If you add a member to your roster, that person will stay from week to week. If you add a visitor to your roster, that will only be for that particular week, but will it be available to check them for the next week? They will just not be added to your members page here, that you will not see them. I just want to make sure that you understand that they will not be on your member roster. I can show another video later on how to make that happen. If there's a new student that shows up, whether it's a member that was from the fall or the spring, or if it's a friend that one of your students brings, I would love for you to go to this link and give us contact information so that we can make sure that we have the student in the database and we have up-to-date contact information for them. These first 2 lines are your information, your name, full name, your email address here, the name of your group, and then all of the student information. The stars are required fields. This helps us to not put duplications in our database and will also give us up-to-date contact information for an emergency contact, whether it's a parent or a guardian. I know that we have quite a few students who don't live with parents, so whoever their responsible adult is, that's who needs to be in these fields. If they have a friend that invited them, this is just great information so that we can contact that student by card or by text message, just giving them a pat on the back, thanking them for bringing friends and walking out our vision. Click the Submit button. That form information then comes to me, and I will update the database. Once I update the database, then all of that information in your members page here will be updated as well. All right, so then we have two other things here real quickly that are PDFs. So you've got your leader guide and you've got your student guide. Each week we are updating the student guide for the up-to-date information for that particular week. Now, when you download these, you click download, then you get your PDF. So you can print the whole document, or you can download it to your device, and you can email the student guide to your students from here. So you've got your student guide. It's 8 pages. So if you don't want to print it, you can download it, and then you can email it to your students as a PDF, and then they can have it either on their tablet, phone, or they can print it themselves. It's totally up to you on how you want to do that. So that's your resources page. When we add or change the content on this page, unfortunately, you do not get a notification of that. That is a requested feature that I have sent in, but that has not happened on this site yet. Your settings is all already done for you. You don't have to worry about this really at all, other than just knowing that we have asked for a reminder to be sent out to your students 3 days beforehand, and that's where this is done. Your overview is just a really quick little snapshot of the health of your group, kind of demographics, how many members, that kind of thing. You can look at that if you would like. This attendance report here I would like to go over real quickly with you is a snapshot of the last 30 days or however long you want to look back, if you want to look at the last month or whatever. If a student has been marked as attended, there will be green check marks in these boxes. If they haven't attended in a few weeks, this gives you a really good idea on who you need to follow up with, who you need to check on, see how they're doing. If you know they're on vacation, then you know it's not a big deal. But we do also have cards in the office that have SGY on the front, or they have the We Will Tell logo on the front of them. If you would like any of those to be able to send to your students to touch base with them, please let us know, and we will get those to you either directly or through your shepherd. All you'll need to do is, obviously fill out the card, tell them thanks for coming, hope to see you soon, and fill out the address on the envelope if you have it. If you don't, obviously I'll have it in the database as long as that's been updated, and we can mail it from the church. So that's an option we would love to give you, and would love for you to be able to continue on in the fall with your students if you're continuing on with us this fall. If you have any questions and you cannot get a hold of me, then you can click this button, this little question mark, and it brings up a couple of articles that you can look at real quickly, or you can browse, or you can actually type a question in here and how to add and remove members. So that will take you to an article that shows you all of that, gives you a little video, depending on the question that you're asking. It has all sorts of information. You should, however, be able to get a hold of me by email, which is charlotte@stonegatefellowship.com, CHARLOTTE@stonegatefellowship.com, or you can email the SGY team at siggy@stonegatefellowship.com, or you can text me at 698-1795. That's also my office number, so you can call me there as well. If it's on a Saturday and you don't want to bother me, or if you're unable to get a hold of me or Chase, then please feel free to use this question mark, ask whatever questions you have, and send me an email, and I will answer you as soon as I can. If any other questions come up, please really feel free to contact me directly, and I will help you walk through all of these things with this group site as I can. I hope that you continue to have a great summer and get to build some great relationships with these students. Have a good summer.